time to take a look at some of the business stories from around the region. Now with me is Mike Ransom. He's from the Debt Advisory Line. An interesting time of year for you, I would imagine. I'm just looking at Next reporting a bumper Christmas sale. Sale in Sainsbury's hailing strong Christmas trading and others done very well. But does that mean that in the post-Christmas period, you as a debt advisor are working extra hard?
Last year we saw the inquiries from November to January jump by about 40%, and would expect to see the same. So I think that a lot of people will have spent, kind of gone a little bit wild at Christmas, but they may kind of repent at leisure and struggle with the repayments. So,
I mean, if you were in any of the major retail outlets across Greater Manchester over the last few days, you could be forgiven for thinking, what recession? We have spent an awful lot of money, but people haven't spent real money, have they? They've spent on the plastic, and that's what got us into this mess in the first place, isn't it?
I think a lot of people will have put it on the credit cards, and then hopefully they'll budget and plan and they'll be able to pay it off, but some will spend the majority of the year trying to pay off the Christmas debt. Others won't be able to manage it, so they'll come to the likes of Debt Advisory Line and try and get a plan in place to mean they can survive.
Has there been any sense, Mike, of people spending less in the last year, taking advice and being a bit careful and then just having a splurge for Christmas? Maybe we've been saving up to have a good Christmas rather than doing it on the tick?
We may have done, but then as a whole society will have rehabilitated, and I think that some will have done, and hopefully there's a good percentage, but there will be a lot that will have put it on the credit card and will struggle when the bills land in over the next week.
Yeah, well, we'll know that in the next couple of weeks, I would imagine. More immediately, all this snow and the employee absenteeism that's come as a consequence is going to cost an awful lot. £230 million a day or something this is going to cost?
Yeah, I think obviously you have the impact of the staff not coming in, so you've got the lack of productivity. I think we were probably at about 10% of what we would normally have been on Tuesday. Then you've got the staff that can't come in because they've got the kids that are off school because it's unsafe to get there. So I've heard up to 20% of the workforce were off, then it would cost £1 billion. So we're talking...
So a prolonged spell of this could hit the economy quite hard then?
It could do, yeah, absolutely.
What about unpaid overtime? I'm reading today the North West is one of the regions that saw the biggest increase in the value of unpaid overtime last year. Workers giving away billions during 2009. What does that mean?
I think
it's essentially working hours not getting paid, is that?
It can mean that, but it can also mean that there are employees giving discretional effort because the employer's having a hard time, so they're willing to give a bit more. It could be they're getting paid in other ways, so they're bonused at the end of the year. So it depends which angle you take on this.
It's not employers not paying, then? I mean, you might view that as, I've put the overtime in and I'm being denied the payments I'm entitled to.
I think it's probably not that. I think it's probably that I'm paid 9 to 5, but actually I'll work till 6, I'll work till 6:30 because I've got more work to do. That's the angle I'm taking on it.
Well, and that's quite positive then, isn't it? It's employees seeing that there is a future for the business if they're prepared to put a bit of extra effort in and perhaps, I suppose, selfishly preserve their own jobs. Yeah,
I doubt it's that they've worked, but they've just not been given the payment. I doubt
that. We're reporting yesterday the biggest reported loss ever in football or something. Manchester City reporting a loss of £92.6 million. It didn't come as much of a surprise to many people. Were you one of them or not?
No, I think that, they are... that's the whole reason they've attracted their, Arab owner. He's got lots of money, he's able to write off the debt, and they're going to create more debt by spending kind of big in January.
So football is not a business to make any money in, then, is it?
Not unless they get into the competitions and they stay in there and they're kind of generating the revenue and the merchandising, but they've got quite a way to go.
They have indeed. Good to hear your thoughts. Thanks very much indeed for coming in, Mike. We'll look forward to your thoughts as the year progresses financially.